Hey guys, so this is my Pagan Perspective subs video this week. I am sorry it is late, but I will explain more at the end of this video why. I also swapped days with Cole this week because I had something on which I will explain, like I said, at the end. So our questions this week were about working with certain gods and goddesses if, when doing spell working with them, speaking to them in the language from where they originate from. So say, working with the Greek pantheon, speaking Greek to them. If you're working the Egyptian pantheon, speaking Egyptian. The Nordic, it would be either like Finnish or whatever language that the gods you work with come from. And then the second question was wondering about if you're using a said candle in the ritual that was scented with a particular herb, if you could substitute that for the actual herb itself, and would it affect the spell's effectiveness with that? First off, so the first part about the question with language and working with particular deities. Through personal experience, I work with a lot of the Greek pantheon, so I know a little bit of Greek that I've learnt from going to Hellenic Reconstructionist rituals that friends have run. I've learned languages there, little sayings and little being parts that go in it, and it can add a little bit of potency, extra potency, but it's still the intent behind what you're actually saying. So if you go and say something in Latin that you found somewhere and not understanding what the full translation is, or even how it's meant to be particularly said, so it might be the wrong way round, you might put the wrong emphasis on the wrong syllable or lettering in there. If you spend time stumbling over it as well, it kind of affects the pretty much dampens the effectiveness of that actual spell there. It's more about the intent you put behind all the words you say with rituals and spells with particular deities. If you understand them for who they are, for you, yourself, and you connect with that potency and that intent within yourself while working with them, that's where the true power comes from, not with what words you say to them. You can do a full silent ritual with them based on intent, and it will be still as potent as anything where you can spill words flowing forth, lots of things to say. So it's really much more about the intent behind the words than the actual words you're saying themselves. In basis to do with the substituting candles or substituting for herbs and oils, Charlie on her video actually mentioned about it, which I thought was quite interesting, was about the resonation of each plant. It's also the same thing. It's like the correspondence that comes with a plant, so roses being associated with love, lavender being associated with healing and relaxation. There's these set kind of like memory-based morphic ideals and ideas that are attached to these correspondences. So they create power within themselves, but it's down to your own personal correspondences because an example of this, I was talking to my friend about it the other day. If you were heavily allergic to lavender, you would never use it. And if a spell called on you to use lavender there, would you go ahead and use it just because the spell called for it and you may have an allergic reaction to it? No, you'd do something else. You'd work out what would be your own personal correspondence for healing for whatever was attached to that plant, to that herb. And also each herb and plant has its own correspondences that are transferred to each person. So you might find if you had roses, like roses being associated with love, if you had an ex who gave you roses all the time and then was abusive to you and treated you poorly, you're going to have negative memories and negative attachments to that, and you don't want to attach that to the magic and the potency of the spells that you're creating, because that will just awaken that within yourself. So it's very much about basing and creating your own personal list of correspondences for things that don't work for you. So it's the same with like the elements as well. Herbs, candles, all that sort of thing. You may not associate fire with candles or something. You may use something else, so like volcanic rocks. There's all different sorts of aspects and different parts to it. It's just very much about exploring your own personal correspondences, your own information, your own body wisdom and your own knowledge, because that is where the true potency and true potential and power comes from in related to these correspondences. I think that's pretty much it for the questions this week, but the reason I was late with this video is because Kara gave us a secret mission this week to talk about Samhain, but it's not actually Samhain here in the Southern Hemisphere. It is Beltaine or Beltaine, and I'm going to attach a link, probably put it down in the comments box below to my personal channel, where I'm going to put up a video from our Faery tea sit-in we had and the Faery march for Beltaine. Pretty much we had a massive celebration down here. It was a beautiful day. It started out a bit cloudy, but then the sky was just blue and perfect, and we had probably like 40 or 50 people rock up for this ritual, and it was just amazing. And there was colours and wings and glitter and sparkles everywhere. There was drumming and music through the city, and it was just amazing. And the reason that I'm late with this video is because it just was a long party. It was a long day. I left the house at 9:30 in the morning and got home maybe 4 AM. I was home for about an hour in between the ritual itself and the party at night, but apart from that, I was pretty much out the whole time and slept most of today. So today being Sunday here, so that's why it's late. I know it's Sunday there now, so this is why this is a bit late. But I hope you enjoy the footage I have, and yeah, a lot of people put in a lot of effort. It was amazing and incredible. So pretty much love and blessings to you all, and I will see you later this month. Blessed be.